What's going on, veterans? This is JB coming to you live. I am 100% permanent total Navy Desert Storm veteran, and I hope you had an awesome Memorial Day weekend, and happy belated Memorial Day to all my fallen heroes and family members of fallen heroes. We do appreciate you, and at New Life Veterans, you're more than just a thank you. So right now, before I get started in this episode, I want you to get out a pen and piece of paper. I'm going to share with you some explosive information. All right. Now, I want you to like the video and also comment as I'm going along as well. OK. And also, if you're not a subscriber of the New Life Veterans TV channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now, because we're going to bring the fire every time we go on camera. OK. All right. Now, the message I'm getting ready to share with you is going to blow your mind, because you really don't understand the magnitude of the VA disability process when it comes to examinations. A lot of people ask the questions of, will I get a CMP exam because I got this information sent into the evidence intake center and it was so tight, the information was so tight, they didn't need to do a CMP exam. Now, sometimes that's a rare case. I'm not saying that it don't happen, but majority of the time, you're going to have to go through a CMP exam. Now, what I want to share with you is that there's a big budget over there at the VBA. Everybody knows the fiscal year 2022, 2023 budgets is huge. And every time they give a big budget increase, there's companies out there that are licking their chops, getting richer than ever before. I want you to understand that this budget comes from you working on a job, because the taxes that you're paying at the federal level is going into this treasury bank account, okay, if you will. And we're talking about smart money on this channel. Smart money is tax-free money. I'm going to show you how to turn in taxable income that was put in the Treasury Department and going to get spit out as an outlay to your direct deposit account as a tax-free monthly benefit. I didn't design the program. Don't shoot the messenger. This is approved by Congress, that disability compensation is tax-free, which is the smartest money out there. The billionaires of this country do not pay any taxes. It's the poor and the middle classes that pay all the taxes. But that's another video, okay? I want you to understand that I want you to have a broad understanding of how big this is. Keep in mind, let's go back to the budget situation. Congress approves the budget. Congress approves the budget. And when Congress approves the budget, it goes into this bank account at this bank. All right? And then there's corporations that provide services to the federal government in the name of helping veterans, thanking them for their service, right? Okay? So I want you to understand that there's $8 billion of it coming out just to do medical disability exams. Medical disability exams. It's called MDE. Now, there's a company that's a $1 billion company that is a New York Stock Exchange company, a Fortune 500 company. New Life Veterans is not a Fortune 500 company, all right? You got to make a lot of money to be a Fortune 500 company, all right? So, last year they made $13.7 billion. Why am I talking about a company? Because I want you to understand how this thing is stacked so much against you as the veteran who fought for the greatest country in the world and can't quite understand how hard it is to wade through this disability process for small pieces of money. There's big money out here in the billions, but you get a small piece of the money. 8 out of 10 veterans right now are lowball claimed when it comes to disability compensation. Okay, high value claims are 80% and better to me. Okay, there's not a large majority of veterans that are getting paid 80% or better. Now, why? Because there's something called a CMP examiner that's paid by $1 billion companies. There's a CMP examiner that works for a company that is a $1 billion company. Now, if you work for a $1 billion company, would you go against that $1 billion company that pays you a paycheck every 2 weeks? Absolutely not, because you probably 9 times out of 10 right now is working for a company that you don't even like, but you would never go against them because they provide you a livelihood. Am I correct? Most of us going outside the door every single day going to a job that you don't even like. But you wouldn't do anything to jeopardize that job because you know that job pays you a paycheck and affords your lifestyle, your cars, your houses, right? So the same thing here. If you got a CMP examiner who's got houses and cars and kids in school and want to go on vacation, how hard are they going to slap this billion-dollar company hand to cut off that paycheck? Hardly likely. How likely are they going to try to help this company save money? If they saving them money, they saving the government money, right? So have you ever worked for somebody, they say they'll pay you a bonus if you find out a way, a process to help that company save money? Same thing here. Now, this Fortune 500 company is based in Reston, Virginia, in the heart of Washington, D.C. In the first quarter of 2022, they made $3.5 billion. Now, with the New York Stock Exchange company, you have the board of directors, right? You have a CEO, right? The board of directors vote on all the rules on all the money. Now, when you have a New York Stock Exchange company, you have investors, right? And so the investors put money into the company based on the performance of the stock. You may get dividends, right? Well, they're getting ready to pay out some dividends because they beat quarterly revenue. What does this have to do with VA disability, Juniors? It has a lot to do with it because they're performing medical disability exams, and they also got new business awards, not only from the VBA, the Veteran Benefits Administration, they got it from the FAA, the NASA, the Navy Ship Design, and Army Gunnery. What does it got to do with VA disability, Juniors? It has a lot to do with it because $1.7 billion was just awarded on May 31st of this year while we were waving the flag for Memorial Day. $1.7 billion of tax dollars was awarded to this company to examine you, to determine the fate of you and your family's future when it comes to this disability that's affecting you financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. All these damages or these injuries are hinging on a billion-dollar company that got the money from the government, that got employees that are too scared to go against their own employer because they're going to get in trouble, of course. They're going to follow the law to the T. Title 38, Part 4. And guess what? The federal government, the Congress, is going to train these people virtually, these doctors, quote unquote doctors. They're going to train them on military sexual trauma. They're going to train them on PTSD. They're going to train them on opinions. They're going to train them on aggravated opinions. Can anybody tell me what's the difference between an opinion and an aggravated opinion? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me enlighten you. This is called a direct service connection opinion, and an aggravated is called a secondary opinion. All right, when you're filing secondaries and you're filing directs. So they already been briefed and certified, and once they take all the tests and pass all the tests, they're certified to be a medical disability examiner. I still haven't told you the name of the company. The company, ladies and gentlemen, some of you have already seen this company in your mailbox. It's called QTC. Yeah, that's right. This was a CMP exam appointment notification that I got when it was getting ready time for me to go to the CMP examiner. Now, you probably say, man, I looked at QTC. QTC is not a public company. QTC is owned by a company called Leidos. Go to Leidos.com. They have the news release sitting there right on news releases. They just got awarded $1.7 billion to do veterans separating active duty and retiring. $1.7 billion? And then they got a budget to go up to about $8 billion. And then when the contract ends in 2000, whenever, okay? Now, as long as there's wars, as long as there's conflict around the world, as long as we got national security, we will always have Congress setting a budget for this type of stuff, right? The other companies that we got is called VES, and what's the other company called? I went to QTC, and I went to what other company? Can anybody tell me? VES, LHI. I'm sorry, LHI. LHI. I don't know if these companies are publicly traded. I've done enough research. I know that one of them been around since 2011, but they're making a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. And it behooves you to understand what you up against. The reason why you're failing in your CMP exam, because number one, you're ignorant. to the law, Title 38, Part 4. Number two, you've been told a lot of hearsay information. I heard this and I heard that. Take that I heard stuff out your mind. Block it out. You need to educate yourself because you got $1 billion opponent that sells stock on the New York Stock Exchange, and they're making money not only from Congress, but selling stock. Banking on you coming in there ignorant to Title 38, Part 4. When my people perish for a lack of knowledge. You get what I'm saying? See, the more ignorant you are, the more profitable you are to things like this. Taxes, inflation, interest. The more ignorant you are, isn't it time now to get smart? Because you got a smart watch on. You got a smartphone in your hand. You got a smart TV, but you're walking around dumb as hell. Now, if I offended you, I'm sorry for saying it. But I refuse to walk around illiterate when it comes to my money. I refuse to walk around illiterate when it comes to tax-free money, when the average person is walking out the door every single day getting taxed to hell. You can't spend 1 hour on nobody's clock without getting taxed. Your kids can't even go to the convenience store and buy a lollipop without getting taxed. Tax does not discriminate on age at all. But if you're ignorant enough to be lazy and lay down when it comes to VA disability, oh, I ain't gonna worry about it, it's too cumbersome. Hey, let me tell you something. If you know they got billions in here to spend, to keep in there, that's a lot of stake. You owe it to your family a responsibility, an obligation to get the highest value that you and your family deserve. Are you amazed that this kind of money, $13.7 billion last year, and they've made 3.5? How much did you make last quarter? How much did you make last year? Tax-free. This is where your tax dollars are going into this thing, all right? So I want you guys to understand that your CNP examiners are not your friend, number one, okay? Number two, they're backed by billions of dollars, okay? Number three, they're selling stock on the New York Stock Exchange, so they have a vested interest to improve that stock market price, okay? So there's a lot of things stacked against you. Wouldn't it behoove you now to get in the boxing ring and understand Title 38, Part 4? Join forces with New Life veterans because we're teaching Title 38, Part 4. When I do a consultation with you, I got this in mind. I know what's ahead. I'm trying to get you in line so you can walk through the door of that examiner and ace that exam. How are we going to ace the exam? It starts with your intent to file. It starts with you getting your nexus. It starts with your disability diagnosis. It starts with showing your in-service event. It starts with showing your after-service event. It starts with getting on the PubMed.gov and getting your articles together. It starts with your lay statements. All of the ingredients. You know, Big Mama had an ingredients when she making that peach cobbler. There's a certain ingredient you got to put in that peach cobbler to get a high value claim. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you up against. QTC is owned by Leidos, and Leidos gets a lot of government money, government contracts to examine you and get paid, not only from that, but from the stock market. Are you willing to walk out this door or walk out this life, leave your family behind, and not get the benefits that they deserve? If not, go to newlifeveterans.com today. Get your consultation done. I'm going to send you a text message with my calendar exposed to you. You get to book a 30-minute consultation on my calendar. We're going to talk about your claim for you and your family. Get on New Life Veterans right now. newlifeveterans.com for a consultation. I'll see you at the top, and I definitely see you at the bank. Talk to you soon.